Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another edition of Before I Go Wrong. And in this edition of Before I Go Wrong, I'll be doing Before I Go Wrong UFC Vegas 56 or UFC Fight Night Volkov versus Rozenstruik. And don't expect this to be an all-time series, but I absolutely blundered last card, so I wanted to at least avenge that last card and do this thing right, and then ditch the series or maybe combine it or do something like that. But I can't end anything off on that note. Like, I am going to have to kill this card. I'm going to, like I said, have to kill this card. So I'm gonna quickly run through this card, and that's all this video gonna be. Just me quickly run through the card and where my current picks are, where my current head is at. And yeah, you guys can comment down below where your head is at, what you feel about this stuff. And yeah. But again, avenging that last card, and so I can at least end this card, this whatever this is right here, this little series, on a high note, at the very least. But right now, I literally can't end it on what it ended on. Even though people probably forgot about that video already, or this concept, I haven't. And I know some people haven't, so yeah. But run through it. The first fight, 125, women's flyweight. Blanchfield versus Aldrich, or Erin Blanchfield versus JJ Aldrich. How I see this one right here. Very good case for JJ Aldrich. I'm leaning Blanchfield. I'm picking Blanchfield at this given moment. Aldrich on the side, the scary factor that Aldrich seems to be, her big issue seems to be strikers. No, Aldrich herself isn't the greatest wrestler, grappler, but a striker with decent enough takedown defense, decent enough takedown defense. And that can strike where, and our better strikers. That's her issue. That's where she lost. And Erin Blanchfield kind of falls more into the grappler department right now. So if JJ Aldrich seems like an anti-grappler at this given point, or has established herself to be some anti-grappler, this could be a questionable fight where I'm all tongue-tied, but also JJ Alvarez is also pretty young. It's not like 40-year-old, 35-year-old. She's still pretty young. I think she was early 30s or like 30, 31. Matter of fact, she might be young. I might have to look at her age. Like, bear with me a little bit. I ain't even editing this out. I ain't editing this out. She's very young. She's 29 years old, still not even 30. So it's not like she's this older woman in Blackfield, this fresh face coming in that's going to just walk past her like it's just fate. It's just supposed to happen. It happens every single generation, every single era. The young people come in, they get old. Get eaten by the next young people. Like, ain't that cycle? But yeah, the anti-grappler edge can definitely be a scary factor. But I feel like Blanchfield showing clean striking, and I feel like her grappling, like the fact that she's able to do Maverick the way she did her. I feel like she could find success against Aldrich in the ground department, and maybe even great success. Like, maybe she'll be able to get her on the ground, and after they've established control, I feel like if she can actually get her down and establish control, then she can start to exploit everything in Aldrich's game or her grappling that other people weren't able to get the opportunity to exploit. And I feel like, Aldrich has proven to be the anti-grappler. I feel like she could definitely have some huge flaws in the grappling, and Blanchfield might even be able to get a submission stoppage. So clear a good angle there. She's seemingly this anti-grappler at this given point, has proven to be that. Like, Blanchfield is the best overall package she has fought in her career. It has a lot of talent, a lot of hype behind her. And if she could capitalize on that, establish that control, I could potentially see a submission stoppage. That would be very interesting and something to keep an eye on. But right now, Blanchfield is looking interesting. Next fight we have welterweight division, Andreas Michelitis versus Renat Farek. Let me see. I'm gonna say Fahrenheit and Dalt. Like, they be naming these people all types of names. They named them like black kids in the ghetto. Renat Farek Dino. Fahrenheit Dino Farek. I'm gonna say Farek Dino. So Renat Farek Dino. I see about this one right here. I feel like Farek Dino's career is pretty padded, like super padded, super overhyped. I don't know if he even hyped, but I'm gonna say super padded. That's what I'm gonna say. Ain't no real concerns for him. Well, I don't have no real concerns with him or any high hopes for him. But I feel like this fight he could win and will likely win. I feel like likely by knockout, probably second or first. I'm saying like second round knockout for Fahrenheit Dino. I feel like wrestling could kind of lean out, probably lean to Fahrenheit Dino. Which, like I said, definitely I feel for better competition. But even his record looks somewhat questionable level of competition. He had a couple little decent wins over there, but questionable wins on his side as well, like level of competition, like questionable level of competition. That's what I'm trying to say. But I feel like in this one, Michelitis is kind of more so a kicker But I feel like Ferrag Dino has better combination with his hands. Now I feel like that could better set up his wrestling, than doing spinning kicks and big heavy kicks where like those could easily get you taken down and easily not allow you to work your way in to get the takedown. So I feel like Ferrag Dino is the better wrestler. And I feel like he has the better hands. So I'm leaning Ferrag Dino. Like I feel like he's very much still undeserved hype if he has any. And level competence is abysmal overall, very much abysmal. But I like his skill set better than Michelitas, and I like his momentum better than Michelitas. And I feel like he can get him out of there in under 3 or under 2.5. That's the better thing to say. But yeah, like for Dino out there, better fundamentals, and those fundamentals and that style sets up better in a fight where wrestling could potentially be a big factor, whether it actually used or not, like in dictating the pace of this fight. So Ferradinov in that one. Next fight we have in the flyweight division, Jeff Molina versus Zalgis Zumagulov. In this one, leaning Jeff Molina. Big concern with Jeff Molina's wrestling defense. I think it's pretty low right now. I think he's given him like 2 takedowns every single guy he fights. So very, very, very questionable. And Zumagulov has been there with, he came from like a European Russian, with a Russian type scene. So he's in there with a lot of these very powerful wrestlers. And he was able to pick up a couple of decent wins, well, a good many decent wins, and really establish himself over there. So going there with a guy like Molina, that might be an area to exploit. But like Molina had trained all the right people. He has the right momentum behind him. But this is a big step up, and his wrestling is a big question. So this is definitely an area where we really got to start looking at Zalgis' way. I'm leaning Molina right now, but this is one of the fights where I'm not as confident on because of that fact. Like his wrestling still looks very questionable. Striking wise, I could be comfortable leaning to him in this one. But grappling, Zumagulov looks to really make that part of his game plan and really put an extra focus on that. That's a big if, in this fight, because Molina's takedown defense is so questionable. I mean, he gets up pretty well, but the fact that you have it there, you can go down there with a guy that of the level that Zumagulov has fought at, is definitely an area that you would get exploited in. But yeah, one of the fights I'm concerned about right now, most concerned about, not the most concerned, but one of the fights I am most concerned about, but not the most concerned about. Or maybe it is, but let's continue. The next one we have in the bantamweight division, Tony Gravely versus Johnny Munoz Jr. I'm leaning dog here with Johnny Munoz Jr. in this one. I just feel like Gravely, he just kind of has a guy that has a trouble finishing and trouble being consistent. A little bit chinny, sometimes a little bit cardio issues. Wrestling, you would hope it'd be better than it is, but good package as far as overall skill set. Good conditioning, condition kind of faded in that time. But I feel like Munoz definitely has that little counter hook he could catch him with, and Gravely has been caught with like a little counter hook before by, what's his name? I don't know. Both the guys lost the same guy. I'm forgetting his name right now, but he was winning pretty clearly over that fight and he got caught. What's his name? Nassus or something? Whatever the case. And I feel like Munoz got a little bit robbed in that fight versus the same guy. But with Tony Gravely, he was winning the fight and then couldn't finish and got finished. Johnny Munoz Jr. finished the fight. I mean, he didn't finish the fight, but it went to decision. But I feel like the judges kind of leaned the wrong way in that one. So, yeah, a lot to be questioned. I feel like Munoz can at least address the wrestling of Gravely or, not make it like an easy, just take him down and get laid on type fight. Wrestle back with him, maybe have success. Then wear him, use that height, use that reach. Then eventually catch a tired Gravely maybe in the later rounds and get him out of there or tap him out. Or maybe even do a surprise and just beats him from start to finish and then gets finished, or beats him from start to finish and get a decision victory. So I feel like Johnny Munoz Jr. got a lot of ways to go in this fight. And I like his height, I like his reach, I like his skill set to really cause Gravely some issues. So really liking Munoz Jr. here is a dog at this given moment. And I don't feel like that's one I'm going to change. I feel like that's one that's going to really stick. I'm not really looking to change that one. The next one we have in the lightweight division, Benoit Saint-Denis versus Nicholas Stolze. And flat out, I'm not even going to give this much time. I don't feel like Stolze has any real respectable skills as far as respectable in the sense that I don't really want to strike with Stolze. Stolze, he a killer on his feet. Stolze is a skiller wrestler. He a killer grappler. Like Stolze is Stolze. He really ain't got nothing to worry about. But the thing with Benoit Saint-Denis is can he be just so sloppy and then Stolze just be able to be a little bit more polished on his feet? Or is he going to come in there polished? But I at least feel like Benoit Saint-Denis brings more problems. I feel like he has more a threat on his feet. I feel like definitely more of a threat on the ground. And I feel like that's something a lot of guys have to worry about, and I feel like he can really look to take it to the ground. But got to look more in the stalls. Maybe his wrestling defense is real solid, and he's able to batter his legs with some leg kicks. But and then have Santonese really just reaching and looking like Rami's Brahimaj out there. Just Rahim's Brahimaj from a different country, but with a better chin. Who knows? Gotta look into that more. But right now, like Munoz Jr, a guy at least has somewhat decent skill set. Like as far as these grappling, at least one thing to worry about. Whereas Stolze, who does he have to worry about? Not much anything at all. He has nothing. He doesn't present any real skills that any fighter has to worry about in the UFC. Maybe outside of UFC, but in the UFC's welterweight division and really any weight class in the UFC, Stolze really ain't bringing nothing nobody worried about. That's a fact. Let's give him a moment. So Lena Sandinese, really liking his grappling. Really liking the fact that he was able to go hard rounds with Elitis Zaleski dos Santos, even though it was mostly him getting mocked. As a matter of fact, it was all him getting mocked, but he stayed in there, got some takedowns, landed some decent shots. I think he even has dos Santos hurt a little bit a couple times in that fight, even after getting hurt and being battered. But yeah, but like I said, Sandinese in this one a lot. But still got to do some more research on that one before that's like firm. But right now, I'm liking it very much. If I had to flip a coin, if I had to make a bet right now, I would make that one without much regret at all, without much worry. And I feel like that's one that's going to change. Next fight we have in the flyweight division, Ode Osborne versus Zaruk Adashev, and what am I trying to say? I don't know why it's seeming like all these people come out of Warworks that like Adashev, but I don't know. Maybe he can do something, maybe he can't. 4-3, not looking good. Grappling hasn't really been tested. So that's a good and bad thing for him. Maybe it's better than what we know. Maybe it's worse. And Ryan Benoit, I would say one thing, beating Ryan Benoit is not the ultimate tell like, oh my gosh, this guy is this or that. Ryan Benoit is one of the most inconsistent fighters in the UFC right now. He's been up and down, pretty much same exact spot for like 10 years. So it's not really the most compelling victory to beat him. That's all I'm trying to say. So wrestling could definitely be wrestling grappling could be a very big question mark with Adashev. And striking wise, not like he looked like he's the most greatest polished fighter. I see mostly just overexertion and flash. Yes, he fought in some high level kickboxing, really not that high level kickboxing, and had reasonable success, but his overall skill set ain't nothing phenomenal. Like striking ain't nothing super world class about it, drunk world class. Dexterity probably pretty decent, but actual practice and actual substance really lacking. And like I said, there's a lot of big, flashy, spinning, jumping stuff that's without the actual substance to set it up and really work on not really clean fundamentals. That's what I'm gonna say. Flash, but no clean fundamentals. So he ain't nothing special on the feet. And I feel like Ode Osborne should beat him. Probably be able to beat him in a striking match, but I feel like smart money. Fill him out, use that reach on the feet, get him to overexert himself, get him to be over-aggressive, put him on the mat, pepper him up a little bit, stretch him out, pepper him some more, tap him out. Just positional dominance on him and just be the more well-rounded, more polished fighter. So this should be Osborne fight with pretty good confidence. And I feel like this is one that's not going to change, but like I said, I ain't seen nothing at all special about Adashev. Really want to see him gone pretty soon. Like I ain't really impressed with nothing he's bringing. And I feel like they rushed him to UFC too soon. And it's clearly looking to be that way. And Ryan Benoit should not be anyone's indicator like, oh, this guy is this or that. Because Ryan Benoit is pretty damn inconsistent. Pretty damn inconsistent. And it's not like he has ever had any great wins. He had a Sergio Pettis fight. But that's literally the highlight of his life. Start to finish of his life. But yeah. The next fight we have featherweight division. Damon Jackson versus Daniel Argueta. In this one, I'm going to be honest, I have not looked at this one at all. Right now, I'm leaning Jackson because of his experience, his grappling. And Argueta just, like a little green, fresh-faced dude. And he is coming up a weight class where, like, he a bantamweight, jumping in at, like, short nose to fight a featherweight grappler. So that could be a very big issue. But got to look at Argueta. Maybe he could be a good dog in this one. But right now, Jackson, like, a clear favorite and looking like that should stick. But again, actually got to look at Argueta, and I have not looked into him. So who's to say anything at this moment, at least from my perspective. But you got some intel, give me the intel, and maybe that'll shift it. But right now, I'm not establish yet or anything on that fight because, again, I got to look into Argueta. I don't really know nothing about him. I don't know nothing about him. Now to our next fight, we have in the lightweight division, Joe Solecki versus Alex da Silva. And how I see this one right here is leading Joe Solecki. But I feel like Alex da Silva could definitely be a fight where he could pull off a little upset. Well, that's not even much of an upset, to be honest. But right now I'm definitely leaning Joe Solecki. But this is one pick where I feel like I can easily change to da Silva. I feel like Joe Solecki really kind of falls in one-dimensional department. I feel like his wrestling is all that great. I feel like he's not all that great off his back. So really, not the greatest wrestling. Definitely not the greatest striking. Jiu-jitsu pretty solid, but at this level, really only on top. So the struggle to get to the ground with the stronger and solid enough grappling himself, da Silva. I mean, da Silva has had weakness in the grappling early in his career, but he's been getting better with it every single time out. Definitely, like I said, still gives like a clear grappling advantage. But if da Silva can make it interesting, keep us on the feet, and look to outstrike Solecki, make him have a hard time, and wear on him, and maybe even mix some of his own takedowns at points, this could be a good fight for da Silva to pull off a little light upset. So I'm liking da Silva in the upset factor. Right now I'm leaning to Solecki, but this is probably one of the fights that I will potentially change, but I got to look more into it. This one pick that's very much volatile right now and could definitely change. Next fight, women's strawweight division, Felice Herrig versus Karolina Kowalkiewicz, or Kowalkiewicz, however you want to call her name, like whatever it wants to be today. Like that ain't me changing up pronunciation, spelling. Yeah, that Lego name. But how I feel about this one is Karolina already beat her in the past pretty convincingly. Now they're rematching. It's not like either of them are on the greatest trend. Karolina definitely looking terrible. Felice Herrig looking like herself, but hasn't fought very like much. But that might be a good thing for her. But right now I'm at lean Karolina. Beat her before, beat her again. It's not like Herrig has made any great improvements. But grappling has definitely like a big hole there, and maybe Herrig can exploit it. So it's interesting. Another pick that could definitely, like I said, I don't know, it can't really change too much. Because like I said, if Herrig was actually putting in work, and Karolina, like I said, if Herrig was looking decent or stable, actually showing it, but she's been inactive. Karolina has been looking terrible, but we can't say Herrig has made any improvements if she's the same or if not. Like we don't know where their head spaces are, so out of fight. But I guess in that sense, you gotta lean to the person who already won before. But hey, I gotta look into it a little bit more right now. We're leaning beat her before, we'll beat her again. Kind of mentality. Now to our next fight we have in the light heavyweight division, Alonzo Minifield versus Askar Mazharov. So Askar Mozarov. Minifield versus Mozarov. And now I see this right here is Mozarov definitely on some I sort of say super soldier drug or something like that. He was all skinny and slim. His head's still kind of small. Neck kind of long, but little small head. Body was looking like a featherweight, but he really was like a welterweight or something. Now he like heavyweight, but either way, the man, that little bit of time to put that on that much mass, definitely concerned, especially for an MMA fight. I can see you like a bodybuilder, yes. And even a lot of them, a whole lot of them taking drugs, but anywho. But like bodybuilder, that's your thing, and don't really matter. But for some person that's in a like competitive sport where you weight cut it to actually fight in a cage and actually be practical, and not just like, oh, I could look like I would look like a boulder, so I'm gonna look like a boulder. And it's not like I gotta fight anyone, I gotta run on treadmill, I just gotta run out there and have cardio and be fluid and all that stuff. Yes, it's very much unrealistic and very much questionable that this man is definitely on something. But a lot of times people that come in on something, they're either gonna get flagged and never fight in the UFC, or they're gonna come in the UFC, matter of fact, maybe get a win and then get popped. Or are they going to come in and just look like sucked out versions of themselves when they were in their steroid leagues and just get mopped? Now I'm kind of more so leaning to him coming in not looking like, probably still looking roided up, but on diet roids. And even with the roids, chin's a little bit questionable, grappling questionable. Another guy that's more so flash. Minifield very limited and he raw himself, so this makes it a very questionable pick. It's not like Minifield's some guy that has really a lot of MMA experience. He's still very much raw. And he's not like he got the most age. I mean, he's not like the youngest guy out there. So kind of like late start. And it shows late start, still fresh faced in MMA. Like he's not fresh face age-wise, but he's fresh face as far as MMA still positive. Like, I've seen him trying to make improvements. But again, like, limited clock with him, so it's not the easiest pick to fight. If this guy was a guy like maybe this young prospect making these big leaps every single fight, or this guy that's a solid veteran, easy money probably. But Minifield, the fact that he's such a questionable variable, it's concerning because that he could either get caught by that flash with all great substance of Azarov, because he don't really got much substance. And Azarov has got way more experience, but Azarov's been literally fighting tomato cans. That's his whole career, and taking drugs. And Alvarez Minifield at least try to fight, have a decent, respectful career, whereas Azarov has been living a fantasy and taking fantastic drugs. So I just really seen this one. I feel like Minifield could potentially crack his soft chin, and then maybe drag him to the mat, maybe give him like a little front choke and choke that little skinny neck that still ain't grow with the rest of his body, and get him out of there. So I feel like that probably be the outcome, or like a front choke or something, have him hurt, have him look for a ugly takedown and get choked out with like a little front choke. Yeah, that'd probably be the outcome. But right now I'm leaning Minifield right now. I ain't really seen nothing. I'm so impressed with Mozart, but again, on Minifield's side, he really ain't got the experience. He really got the body of work, and he really ain't got a fleshed out skill set himself. So I see him trying, but his skill set still ain't all that fleshed out. It might never be fleshed out because he is a late starter. But right now, Minifield. Next fight we have in the women's flyweight division, Poliana Botelho versus Karine Silva. And at first we're leaning Silva, but again, the pick still ain't set in stone. I'm leaning Botelho right now. What I see about Karine Silva, taking that offense isn't all that great. When you look at her continuous series fight, the reason the fight went to the ground was because of her opponent. It wasn't that she was able to get to the ground. That's a concern. So take that offense isn't all that great. It's not like she's so great off her back. The people she's been fighting have been absolutely dookie water. Like, she's been fighting some actual bums. So, like, what can we say about her? Now, I've seen some fight, which fight people decent, they go at her like she a bum. They look to take her to the ground and tap her out as quickly as they can, like, disregard her with all disrespect. Just go at her like she can, and like this, like, I'm about to collect my check. Get on the ground. I'm gonna tap you out. You a bum. Get on the ground. Let me just get you out of here. Slap you a couple times. Why you even here when we slap a couple times? Give me that leg. Tap you out. Like, they coming in, like they double parked out there, or they got better things to do. They want to come in and get a collect easy check and go back to doing some other hustle. Like, you easy money for them. But yeah, I feel like Karine Silva, her grappling ain't all that great. Botelho does have grappling issues, but you haven't really shown the greatest ability to get it to the mat against decent people. That's a concern. And when you look at the people you're submitting these Foot Locker workers. You working these fighting these absolute bums. It's a concern. And Botelho, I feel like, is clearly the better striker. If Karine Silva will struggle to get it to the mat, Botelho can go to work and she can eat. And right now I'm looking like Botelho, like Karine Silva's gaming her, where she should find strength in this fight. It looking pretty shaky. With Botelho, her striking ain't looking shaky at all in this one. So I'm liking Botelho a lot in this one. It like is a dog right now. So give me some other insight. Maybe you saw something. Maybe she did this. Maybe she did that. Or maybe the other person did that. Give me some insight right now. Botelho looking like the clear pick for me in this one. Because again, Karine Silva's grappling looking very shaky. Her credentials, her resume, very shaky right now. Next fight, 145, Trizano versus Almeida. In this one, I just feel like Trizano is just a bull-around fighter. I don't really see nothing all that special about Almeida. Like Trizano's length, like his skills, like his polishness. This should be a pretty good, confident pick in Trizano right here. I'm really shifting it. I'm not really saying nothing all that amazing from Almeida to lean to him. I think his striking, I think Trizano could be a better striker than him, better wrestler, better grappler, and could, win this fight wherever he needs to win it. So in this one, I'm leaning Mike Trizano, but you got something? Let me know. At this moment, I'm leaning Trizano pretty confidently. Not likely changing that one. Then our next fight, we have, my nose all itchy, Dan Ige versus Movsar Evloev. Yeah, Ige versus Evloev, and gonna be cut straight to the point. Ige has been allowing people to take him down, control him, like allow Korean Zombie to basically beat him by taking him down, controlling him, allowed I don't know, a couple opponents, but it's been enough. It's been enough. And I feel like Evloev could definitely take him down and control him. And I feel like Alvarez is, one of those fighters not as high risk. He'll go out there and fight a smart fight, prevent himself from taking too much damage and just go out there, mix it up and beat Eek to a decision. I don't see nothing spectacular. I see him go out there, fighting a workman performance and following the blueprint. And just beat Eek. Eek could probably be the one trying to load up and land those big shots. And Floyd will take those opportunities to get takedowns or, make him, second thinking when you try to load up or try to commit anything, because now you worry about takedowns. And it's literally just looked to just dissect him and beat him to a decision. I don't see, like I said, no great dominance. Matter of fact, I feel like E will have some little good moments here, but Floyd will look to shift him. But who knows with these judges now? The fact that E will even look to be the one hoping to land something without actually landing, like the intent will be enough. Like now that's a whole new rule. It's an intent. And not in fact actually hurting anyone. The fact that you would tend to hurt someone, but they're preventing you is now, instead of actually in the past where it was a case where it's somebody you have intent to do something and somebody stopping from that, oh, that's a great, you give them a pat on the back. Now the person that has intent to hurt them but can't hurt them. So you're getting blanketed, but you can't do nothing about it. But you want to hurt them, so they give you the decision. So that's the new rule. That's how we doing it now. So, and also Russians aren't really doing good on decisions, so who knows? But I feel like Evloev has a clear path to victory. He should win this one comfortable enough. I feel clear and comfortable enough. But yeah, that's where I'm going right now with Evloev. But only reason I might shift against Evloev is BS. Like the judges on BS right now, so we don't know. Main event right now, heavyweight division. I'm leaning Volkov in this fight versus Rozenstruik. I feel like Rozenstruik, you kind of lean to a puncher's chance, but really got to look more to his striking some more. He got a very good jab. I feel like that's probably really the most dangerous thing from him in this fight. His jab, the big wide swinging hooks and stuff, and check hooks. Ain't really feeling him this one. Maybe got more snare his height, but Volkov's so tall, so long, and fights at the end of his punches. He does kind of keep his chin upright. He doesn't really move his feet the best, so if Rozenstruik does pressure, maybe he could find him, even given all the height. But I feel like he'll more easily be able to find him if he work behind that jab. And that jab does have power and can very much set up other shots. But if he don't work behind a jab, which is like you can't really trust him to, I'm leaning Volkov. I'm leaning that height and that reach to be able to keep him at bay and have Rozenstruik just reaching and missing. But if he work behind a jab, maybe use little kicks like the little rangefinders. We got a ball game. But right now, very much leaning Volkov, but this is a pick that I'm still debating on. Because I want to lean Rozenstruik in a way, but you're just leaning based off puncher's chance. I mean, it's his heavyweight division, but Volkov can also stop Rozenstruik. Volkov might be a decision fighting almost, or definitely a volume punching heavyweight, not that one punch guy, but you put some combination together, he definitely causes a problem for Rozenstruik. It's not like Rozenstruik is known for his defense. He's not at all. And yeah, right now, Volkov is much taller, much longer, and just as dangerous in a sense. So right now I'm leaning Volkov. I also feel like he has a grappling aspect, maybe a little bit, whereas Rozenstruik is a non-threat in the grappling. So Volkov is taller, longer, younger, might say faster, and more rounded. So what you leaning Rozenstruik? More powerful. That's about it. More powerful and more knockout power. That's about it. So very much looking at leaning Volkov, but that might shift. But yeah, those are my picks for right now. So I'm gonna go through them all again without really getting one speed through. So I got Blanchard, I got Farek, Dino, I got Molina, I got Munoz Jr., I got Benoit St. Denis, I got Osborne, I got Jackson, I got Selecki, I got Carolina, I got Minifield, I got Bothello, Trezano, Evloev, and Volkov. Those are my picks right now. And subject to change. But leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's the video. Peace.